you guys in the rhythm world of India, you guys do all sorts of complicated rhythm over all sorts of other rhythms. You know, like you play 7, but then you do 2/7 or 4/7 or 8/7. How do you do that? What is the simplest thing to do that? I think I touched on it already, but maybe not noticed. So if I'm going to play 2/7, what is the simplest thing to do? Come on guys, play twice as fast. So you got 2/7. Similarly, 3/7 is played 3 times as fast. Play 4/7 4 times as fast. How does that work? 1, 2, 3, 4, give me down beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will now do 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. 2. I'll do 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you can establish that's you got your 4, and you can stay with it, or you can go. Want to do 2/7, do 2, 2 a beat. Same thing, 3 to a boot. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, right? So this is how we establish our 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7. You can do all that. Right? So having this kind of simple basic formula and printing it in your head, you know, and every now and then changing the chip to keep it fresh allows us to be able to you know, improvise and play rhythm cycles. Now all said and done, you have to realize that you got to have really good time to be able to do that. Your basic time has to be really good, and you're not always going to have a click track in your head, so you got to have your basic time down, and if you do, then you can do all this other stuff. So I was told by my father, who was my teacher, is that the one thing that I want you to do, the first 3 years of my life as a student, from the age of 7, I was rarely allowed to touch my instrument. I had to just sing everything. I had to recite all the compositions, all the riffs, all the patterns and everything. And I not only had to recite it, but I had to be doing something while reciting it. I had to either be tapping my foot, I had to be doing this, or I had to be walking. And his instructions were, okay, so if you're walking down the street, you're going to school, I want you to recite, today I want you to recite this particular riff all the way to the school in the speed you're walking. Now, when you're doing that in the speed you're walking at, I want you to go 3 times as fast, 4 times as fast, 5 times as fast. Don't change your basic tempo. So that's what he told me. So I would do that. And everybody would look at me and kind of move, give me way. This guy is nuts, they would say. But, you know, allowed me a straight through way. You know how crowded it is in India. This is, Even the cows kind of moved aside. But then there were some others who would walk by me and go like this. They thought I was like, getting some divine intervention, getting some kind of a sadhu or swami or something. Anyway, so there were perks to it, but that's what I was asked to do. And so for many years, and even now I find myself, if I'm sitting in a train and I find myself, that comes back and I start reciting to the rhythm of the train, or if I'm walking, I do the same thing. And so instead of having, earbuds and listen to whatever is in your hand, I find myself just reciting, save the battery for some other time. So this is important. Why? You've got to be able to speak the language. You must speak the language. Why do we love George Benson? Guy, he can take a solo, but he can sing along with it. It's really cool. We have to be able to train our brain to be faster in its thinking than our hands. Brain is the one who's going to tell our hands what to do next. If we get this really good, really fast, and then you're like, come on upstairs, give me something to do, it's not coming. Because you're like running, 5 million, at ridiculous speed, more than warp and whatnot, and nothing's coming for you to play. So, you're like repeating yourself until, somebody says, move on already. So that's important. So reciting was a very important element. I'm sure in jazz also you are asked to be able to sing your solo to yourself. So I would take phrases, and I went one step further. My father would say, play this kaida, which is like a theme. I would just take a phrase of a theme. So if a phrase is like dati dage tinna gena, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, dati dage tinna gena. So I'd go dati dage tinna gena, dati dage tinna gena, dati dage tinna gena, dati dage tinna, dati dage tinna gena, tinna gena, dati dage tinna gena, dati dage tinna gena, tinna gena, dati dage tinna gena, dati dage. I would do all that. I'd fool around with the phrase, move it around, upside down, reverse, whatever. And then I would do that with another phrase, and for years I did this. So my mind, my brain was able to, on a click, figure out exactly how many possibilities were there with each phrase. Because what do you do when you're playing a solo? You're taking a bunch of riffs and phrases and patterns, and you're just putting them together. And when you put them together, you can put, if you have that many combinations and permutations available right here, you can then mix and match them in many possible combinations. Okay, today blue and yellow, tomorrow white and green and whatnot. So you do that. So this is why in India we learn to recite. And so Tatida, Tatigina, Tatida, Credit, Taginaka, Tatigina, Tinati, So that's all.